PER, Practical Experience Requirement, is a question that a lot of students ask. What exactly is it in your ACCA? So in this video, we're going to cover the details of PER and how do you go from being an ACCA affiliate to an ACCA member, with the bridge being this PER. So guys, before I jump into it, if this is the first time you visited the channel, then please do subscribe. If you've been visiting us constantly, then thank you so much for the support. Please do leave a like and comment. Alright, let's jump into it. First of all, what is PER, right? ACCA says that you've got to complete all your 13 exams, and once you do that, you become an ACCA affiliate. But if you want to become a member, which is the real value of ACCA, you have to complete, along with your 13 papers, PER. So it's like CA articleship, that you've got to do it before you get your complete membership. The first point to remember, guys, is PER can be done anytime. It can be done before, during and after ACCA, whereas most of you guys are about to start studying for ACCA. Of course, you'll have to do it during or after. However, if you're a CA, you've completed your IPCC and are already doing your articleship, or you're an MBA, you're a graduate, you have some work experience, you can apply it to what I'm going to explain next. So first of all, let me break PER into three parts. Part number one is 36 months of work experience. This is the same as your CA articleship, but there are a few differences, and let me give you all the details of how to complete this 36 months of work experience. Point number one, you've got to work in any company as long as it's related to finance and accounts. You do not have to work in a CA firm necessarily, like maybe some of your CA friends. You can work in a restaurant in the finance department. You can work in a hedge fund because it's all related to finance. You can literally work in a CA firm just like all your article friends, which is the recommendation that Zell gives all of our students. We suggest work in a CA sort of articleship kind of a firm for 3 years, because that experience, however difficult, is going to prepare you for a much better exposure for your upcoming journey. So number one is, part of the 36 months is work in any company, in any industry, as long as it's related to finance and accounts. Second part about this is, you do not have to work in one company. You can shift companies if you want over 36 months, 36 times if you'd like, as long as all of the times you worked in a company is related to F&A. Third point is, you do not have to work for 3 years or 36 months at a stretch, right? You can take it in parts. You can work for a year, take a break, work for the rest. You can work for six months and take a break again. You can work in 36 separate months across your life, right? And lastly, you do not need a CA to sign this off. Right, so which means if you don't work in a CA firm, it's okay. If you, for example, work in let's say you work in your dad's company. Your dad has a business of steel manufacturing, and of course he has an accounts department. So as long as you work there, anybody over there can sign it off. However, once again, Zell recommends that when you work in a CA firm, it's easier because your seniors are CA, which will make the next part easier for you. So this is the 36 months of work experience. This is the most important thing. We would recommend that if you've not already started working, complete your knowledge level, and somewhere in the middle of your skill, start working. That's the time we help our student gets placed. That's the time that a lot of companies ask for interns or articles, which are CA equivalent for ACCA, at this stage. So it's the best time to start working. You'll have to juggle work and studies and maybe even college, but it's worth once you jump into it, because the outcome that you have as a fully qualified ACCA with so much of experience, with so much of knowledge at such a young age, will make up for all this effort. This is part one of PER. Part two is called performance objectives. Now, performance objectives are not in CA, right? So you can't relate this to articleship. It's a very ACCA specific point. Performance objective means there is a list of objectives that ACCA expects us to fulfill. I think there are 9 if I'm not wrong. These 9 objectives are all about essentially showing or demonstrating that we have actually worked and performed tasks that we would have to in the future. For example, some of them are generic, right? One objective is to display communication skills. Another would be to display leadership skills. Another one will be technical, if you've claimed you worked in audit, it'll ask you to demonstrate how you made an audit plan, or if it's tax, how have you filed a tax return, or if it's reporting, how have you made certain financial statements. So these objectives actually are very easy. Automatically, most of the time in your 3 years of working, you most likely would cover any of these objectives irrespective. So that's the advantage. The only one catch over here is, in this particular point, you need your senior to be a chartered accountant or an ACCA, which means if you work in a firm, in a company where there are no CAs, you can complete your 36 months of work experience, but your performance objectives, even in that company, would have to be signed off by somebody else outside the company. ACCA makes those provisions, but to make overall life easier for all students, Zell recommends a simple fact. Work for 36 months if possible in a CA firm where you have a CA who can not only sign off your 3 years of work experience but also your performance objectives, which will any which ways most likely get covered in your 3 years of experience. If this is by any chance confusing, guys, then reach out to us separately. We will explain you in detail, but I think most of you all would have understood how to approach PER with respect to 36 months and performance objectives along with your studies. Lastly, in PR, point number 3 is the ethics module, right? It's a simple few hours worth of a module that you complete along with your ACCA. You access it when you log into your My ACCA account. Ethics module is not an exam, but you've got to pass it because ACCA has to ensure that you understand how to take ethical decisions. So the module is a few hours module, all online. There are case scenarios and they ask you to solve, what would you do in those scenarios kind of questions. For most of us, it's quite easy because most of us are ethical by nature and we would be able to clear these exams quite easily. I think you have to pay £60 if I'm not wrong for it. It's mandatory to complete it. So whether you do it while you're studying or after you're done, maybe you can do it right at the end of your PR, it doesn't matter. But once you complete your 13 exams, you become an ACCA affiliate. Simultaneously or after that, you complete your 3 years of work experience along with your 9 performance objectives and your ethics module, and that completes your PER. So 13 papers plus PER equals to ACCA membership. So I think that's the detailed gist of how you look at PER, how you complete it. We help a lot of candidates with these details. So if there's anything that you need more clarity on, feel free. We're always there to help you. And if there's anything else you'd like us to make a video on with respect to PER, leave it in the comments.